Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to Pajamalates. My name's Gina. I'm a Pilates instructor here in New York City. We're gonna do a quick little arms and abs series this morning. It is day 6 of our challenge if you're following along. That being said, if you have wrist weights or any sort of hand weights, you can use water bottles or anything that's like 1 to 3 pounds. You can go ahead and use those for when we include arm things. Otherwise, you are totally free to do this body weight. Just make sure you're really lengthening through your fingertips, really feeling all those muscles in your arms activate so you get the full burn. Otherwise, all you're gonna need is your yoga mat. So that being said, let's get started. You're gonna meet me lying down on your back. Knees are in a tabletop position, arms lengthened straight out and up towards the ceiling. So again, if you're holding onto those hand weights, just hold on to them with your arms lengthening towards the ceiling. Otherwise, body weight, just lengthen through your fingertips. Tuck your belly button down towards the mat. So make sure that your lower back is really pressed down nice and flat here. Just gonna start by tapping your toes. Keep that bend in your knees here, really lower down from that hip, feeling your lower core activate here. For 8. Exhale as you bring it up, inhale to lower. 7. Lengthen through your arms again if you're holding those hand weights. Make sure you're really squeezing all those muscles in your arms here. Last 5. Breathe, core is tight, belly button to spine. 4. Again, keeping that bend in your knee. Try not to just bend your foot down to the mat. Last 3. Last 2. And last one on each side here. Holding your knees in that tabletop position. Just extending your arms, alternating arms here the same way we did with our legs. Alternating arms, tapping the ground. Squeezing your triceps, squeezing your biceps here. Pressing your core down onto the mat. Breathe. You have 8, 7, nice long arms. 6. Last 5 on each side. We're gonna go alternating arm, alternating legs after this. Last 4. Final 3. Keep that core tight. Last 2 on each side. And last one each side here. Now alternating arms, alternating legs. So that toe tap with that overarm extension here. Squeezing your core, upper core and lower core here. Keep pressing your belly button down onto the mat. Exhale as you lift everything up. Inhale as you lower it down for 8. Last 7. Breathe, belly button to spine. Tuck that tailbone under. Last 4. Squeeze that core. Lengthen through your arms. Last 3. Last 2. And last one here on each side. Straightening your legs up towards the ceiling. Actively pointing your toes, feeling all those muscles in your legs engage. Arms extend up towards the ceiling. It's a tiny pulse, tiny lower. Tiny lift, tiny lower. Nice and slow here, just feeling your upper back rolling up and peeling off the mat. One vertebrae at a time here, feeling that upper core engage. For 8, lengthen through your arms. 7, 6, 5, 4. We're gonna hold it at the top in 3. in 2 and 1. Holding at the top, you pulse for 8, 7, breathe, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Hands come behind your head. So if you're holding your hand weights, you can drop them for right now. Otherwise, wrist weights can stay on. Lifting your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Legs stay nice and straight. We just go into that slow scissor here. Alternating legs. Again, think about pressing your belly button down onto the mat. There should be no space between your lower back and the mat here. It's just that scissor. For 8, can you lift through your head, neck, and shoulders 1 more inch? Gaze is towards the diagonal here. Try not to lift from your neck. You're lifting from your core. Nice and slow. You have 4, 3. We're going to pause on whatever leg you're on in 2. And last one, pause here. Lift your arms. You lift and lower, lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Woo, feel that burn. 2 and 1. Lower down, switching sides here. Arms extend long. You lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower everything down. Hug your knees in towards your chest for just a second. And we roll over onto your stomach. So if you have your arm weights, hand weights, you're gonna grab those now if you've put them down. Laying on your stomach here, extending your arms straight out in front of you. Squeeze your glutes, lift your legs up off the mat. You're gonna, keeping your gaze down at the mat, you're gonna lift and lower just your arms here. So option to drop your legs and just focus on that arm, lift and lower. Breathe. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. If you have hand weights, make sure you're holding them here. It's 8. Keeping your gaze down at the mat to protect your neck. Nice and slow. Don't let your arms slam to the ground here. Squeezing all those back muscles. Final 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just hold that lift. It's a tiny pulse for 8. Head is down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel it in those shoulders. 4, 3, 2. Holding our arms out. You extend out for 2, in for 2. I'm going to turn so you can see a little better. It's out for 2, in for 2. So tiny pulse out, tiny pulse in for 8. 7. Pretend you have a resistance band between your wrists here, pulling on that band for 4. Ooh, it's burning. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Bring your arms to your sides and press up into that tabletop position here. Getting back into some abs and arms. Now that we just took a quick break from core, extend your left leg out behind you. You're just gonna tap and lift, tap and lift for 8. Core is tight. 7, slight bend in your elbows, working those biceps, trying not to stack your joints. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding that leg out, you're gonna extend your left arm, drop that knee, and just work that arm here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, you hold that arm pressed behind you. So if your leg is still lifted, I'm gonna have you drop it now. Arm is straight behind you. You're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. Keep squeezing your core while you're here. Feeling that tricep burning, that muscle in the back of your arm. It's 8, tiny lift, tiny lower, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're gonna bend your thumb in towards your shoulder, kicking it right back. Still working that tricep. For 8, 7, 6, squeeze that arm, 5, 4, core is tight, belly button to spine, 3, 2, and 1. Extend your arm out in front of you. It's a tiny pulse for 8, 7, head is down, 6, 5, we switch sides in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that arm down. Switching sides here. So again, opposite leg extends right out behind you. It's a tap and a lift, tap and lift. Squeezing your core for 8, 7. We're gonna add in that arm in 6. Again, option to drop your knee to the ground when we add your arm. Now that you know how it feels, final 4. Core is tight. 3, 2, and 1. Again, option to drop your knee. I'm keeping my knee down here. For 8. Squeeze your arm, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, opposite arm has that slight bend. Don't stack your joints. 2, and 1. You hold it back. It's a tiny lift, tiny lower, tiny lift, tiny lower. Breathe, drop your shoulders away from your ears for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, feel that tricep, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. You bend your thumb in towards your shoulder, kick it right back for 8, 7, 6, 5, belly button to spine. Squeeze your core nice and tight. We can't forget about it just because we're focusing on those arms here. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Shoot that arm straight out in front of you. Again, extend your fingertips nice and long. Tiny pulse for 8, 7, 6, squeeze your core, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that arm down, coming into a quick little child's pose here, sinking back into your hips, open through your shoulders. Coming up into your downward dog, press your heels down onto the ground, hands are flat. We're gonna inhale, come into that high plank. Exhale, opposite hand touches opposite foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, opposite hand, opposite foot, just for 8. 7, core is tight, active arms here. If you have a weight, you keep that weight where you're like right in front of your chest on the mat, lifting it, switching hands here. Final 4. Oh, I just did that side. Last 3. Exhale as you come up to that down dog. Inhale as you lower, final 2. And last one, each side. We just hold that plank. Holding your plank here, core is tight, belly button to spine. Tiny tap your knees down to the mat, lifting into that high plank for 8, 7, 6, 5. Ooh, arms are burning. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up onto your knees, final few arm moves to finish out. Arms come at your side. So again, if you have your hand weights, hold them here. Arms are at your sides. You exhale, extend your right arm out. Bring it in for 8, 7, 6, 5. Option to drop down to your heels. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that arm out, actively squeezing your opposite arm, squeezing it in towards your body. Your right arm is extended long. You flip it down to the mat, up towards the ceiling. So if you're holding on to something, really engaging those fingertips for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here. Bringing that arm to 90, extending it up and over towards the side, coming right back down for 8. We switch arms after this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here, bringing that arm in towards your body. Left arm now extends out, bringing it right back in. It's 8, engaging all those muscles in your arm as you lengthen. And squeeze it in for 7, 6. Keep that right arm actively engaged towards your side. Hand is out. Elbow is in, hand is out. Final 4. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Holding that arm out. So again, with your right arm, elbow is facing in, arm is out, hand is out towards the side. Left palm flips down towards the mat, flipping it right back up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that arm to 90. Exhale, press it up and over. Inhale, come back to 90 for 8, 7, 6. Inhale as you lengthen up and over. Exhale as you bring it back down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Both elbows in towards your body, palms facing the ceiling. You inhale, lower your hips down. Exhale, squeeze through your core, squeeze your glutes, lift and extend your arms out. So inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Core and arms working here to finish it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Really lengthen through those fingertips. 3, 2. Last one here. Bend, hinging at your hips. This is it. Palms face each other, squeezing your elbows in towards your body. You kick your arms back, bring your thumbs back in towards your shoulders. So pinkies back, thumbs in for 8. Squeeze your triceps. 7, 6. Still holding on to those weights if you have them. 5, 4, 3. Last 2. Last one, we hold it here. Squeeze your triceps, squeeze your biceps. It's a tiny pulse. Up an inch, down an inch for 8, 7. Gazes down. 6, 5. Squeeze your core, belly button to spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are done. Thank you so much for tuning back into Pajamalates. Today was our arms and abs series. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, do all the things. And I will see you guys back on the mat tomorrow. Cheers.